use and how it's directly connected to social control. So there's two different types of social control. You have the informal social control, be the facial expressions. It would be public humiliation, become demoted from your position at your job, impeachment, as well as defamation. The informal social control, it subliminally attacks you. It's so many different experiments that will fall under informal social control. Sociologists, some form of social control is necessary for the normal operation of society. It's also detrimental, and what it does is it utilizes many abusive tactics to control by imprisoning the mind. Everything is the mind. It's interchangeable with everything is energy. As your energetic force, your chi, your life force, it moves through your body. Your mind is the driving force of that chi. As things get into your mind and they begin to cloud your mind, your perception, your vision, everything tends to blur. It becomes faded. In one instance, you may be able to control yourself, but in an attack, psychological, emotional, even physical, because physical attacks, they begin psychologically. Although you have these rare instances where someone may get attacked, in most instances, the abuse is coming from someone that knows the individual. That can range from co-workers to family members to significant others to people in power. See, that's where that terminology, people in power, comes from. If you think about it, social control and social status allows these individuals' position in society to grow. And as their position grows in society, most instances they're placed in position as a leader. These roles, they trigger the ego. We have the ego, the ID, and the super ego. But underneath the surface of that ego, that ID, and that super ego, you also have the conscious state of mind and the subconscious state of mind. So it will be empath, sociopath, and psychopath. Everything starts in that path. It's a path. We're all threading upon a path. Although there's many journeys, many different routes that we tend to take in our life, tends to reroute us. When you're dealing with the empathy, the individual should have a level of empathy for someone outside of them. So empathy is being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Now, the way that life is set up, there's going to be someone that you will come in contact with that has experienced something that you have experienced in life, and you can know firsthand how that feels. Now, that doesn't go to say that your feelings and their feelings are going to be the same. Absolutely not. It's everyone's journey, and everyone's healing journey is completely different. It's the path. But abuse, it is very calculated. It starts off with the attack of your mind. If you break down the mind, what happens is that you deteriorate the body. Our human anatomy, you have different functions that make up the human anatomy. And there's different areas in our brain. It's areas in our brain that triggers us to cry, emotional response. There's areas in our brain that triggers anger. That's the reaction response. There's areas in our brain that triggers us to focus. There's areas in our brain that triggers us to not be able to focus on one specific subject at a time. So if you really look at the experiments, the social informity, the informal social experience, they're directly connected to abuse. If you think about the many aspects of mental health, and you have anxiety, you have depression, you have attention deficit disorder, you have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, there's an area in the brain as well as the thyroid. Now, if you trigger this area in the brain and you also trigger an area of the thyroid, if they're imbalanced, it produces hyperactivity. The imbalance. And as the mind is being attacked and the brain is being attacked, the body, it hinders the body's ability to recover and to heal itself, making it susceptible to various different ailments ranging from mental and physical disconnections. There's areas in the brain that triggers addiction. Addiction can present itself in almost anyone, depending upon the trigger. It goes to post-traumatic stress disorder. What triggered an emotional response? See, it's these different areas of the brain. I'm certain that science has evolved in many areas to where identification of different areas, for example, the jaw is directly connected to the pelvis. So these studies on the human anatomy expose the brain. See, the brain is connected to everything. The spine, all of this is connected. It connects to the legs. It connects to the arm. The brain connects to the movement of the eyes. The brain connects to the throat, to the voice. Some individuals have a high-pitched voice. Some individuals' voice is deeper. It's directly connected to the brain. And these different responses that is delivered depending upon the area that is triggered. So if the natural function of the human anatomy sends off frequencies, it naturally sends off many frequencies to the brain. That's how we blink. That's how we write. That's how we move. That's how we walk. It begins in the mind. The brain and the mind, they're all connected. So if the attack of abuse is attacking your mind, remember, psychological abuse, emotional abuse affects an individual longer than physical abuse. Physical abuse, it has the ability to heal, but again, it goes back to the slow decline. The psychological abuse, it starts with a subtle comment, and that comment can appear as constructive criticism or even as an individual's intention is to help you, but it's really a form of gaslighting. Depending on who the person is, that remark and the tone that it was delivered, and at the time and place where it was stated, has the ability to make an individual question themselves. They can love an outfit at their initial sight of it, but after hearing these words, later on, those words have the ability to replay in their mind. It will be awesome to hear your thoughts on these, and drop a comment in the comment section below for me and let me know how you feel about this topic. If this video has helped you gain insight, thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.